This is the GV Podcast, a variety review podcast featuring two of the three idiots giving their thoughts on cartoons and anime. This is an opinion-based podcast, and there's no way we're saying our thoughts and opinions are objective. Keep this in mind and enjoy the show.
So before that, there's a clip of a puppy jumping off a bridge.
Why? What? No! I don't want this! Good morning, everybody! My name is Mayhem.
I'm Jinzu.
I'm Duke. And today, Duke has something special for us, but Jinsu had something else to show us.
This is primarily to fill in that blank space that was in a lot of weeks. I went ahead and put in basically as many anime as possible, and so you're watching now double the anime, okay?
Oh no.
Actually triple.
Oh!
Actually,
yeah, that's right! Oh, this is another one to add.
Actually quadruple.
No, wait, what?
Just keep going.
What are we watching this time, Duke?
Today, we are watching a Japanese neo-noir science fiction anime.
We already watched Death Note.
This show ran from 1997 to 1998.
We already watched Akira.
This series is set in the year 2071 and follows the lives of a traveling bounty hunting crew aboard a spaceship called the Bebop.
The Millennium Falcon?
One Piece?
But we already seen the Dragon Ball, also known as Cowboy Bebop, from Fortnite.
That's right. We're watching
Dragon Ball Super.
We're watching Dragon Ball Super. And
no, I prefer the Dragon Ball GT world.
We're watching all 26 episodes of Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
We're watching Dragon Ball AF by...
This is still part of that era of anime that had a bunch of the machines and all that kind of stuff, the technology, the disc future, whatever it was called.
Yeah,
where everything is insanely detailed, and you get to see how everything moves. I have heard of Cowboy Bebop. I know his name is Spike. His name ain't Cowboy Bebop.
Spike Spiegel.
His name ain't Doc. Yeah, I know his name is Amon.
His ship is the Bebop.
I know that we're watching Legend of Korra.
Bebop, we do.
And he's a cowboy.
And he's also Sub-Zero.
Oh, actually, yeah, because we're watching the English dub, because this is one of the few examples of a actually really good English dub.
I agree.
Good.
But I don't care.
Regardless.
The main character is voiced by actually Steve Bloom.
Who is Amon from Legend of Korra.
And Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat.
And many things, because it's Steve Bloom.
And Guilmon from Digimon Tamers.
Anyway, that's what we're watching here. And
yes, we're watching Digimon Data Squad.
No! Cowboy Bebop!
Ren and Stimpy.
No!
But yeah, get ready. Let us go watch 26th episode of Cowboy Bebop. The live action. No.
There's one. No, not the Netflix!
Call the police!
Call the police!
Squidward will be performing his version of Solitude in E minor. Yeah, E minor, all right, yeah!
Man, I love finishing shows.
Man, I love finishing.
I like to edge myself.
When is Microsoft? When is Microsoft Edge allowed to Microsoft come? This is the only time of day I can shout that.
Man, screw Microsoft. I'm ready for macro hard.
So yeah, we're talking about Cowboy Bebop, a show.
Wait, we're introducing ourselves. I just realized there was a part 1.
There was a part 1?
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh well.
Hey, it's been like a year since.
No. There is not a part 1. That is way too long ago.
Dude, it's gonna be so funny though, because there's gonna be the part 1, and it's just you see it's collected dust. I'm going to have that be part of the edit, by the way, when I put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You'll see it's an image that's collected dust, and it looks like an old one of those box TVs. And then once it goes to the next one, it's completely normal.
No, you got to do part 1 over. You saved me. Why?
It's almost at the point where I say
monkey.
Last time I did
Cowboy.
that, I got copyright striked by Hans Zimmerman.
What?
Oh yeah, because his music is playing in the background. Right.
The Kung Panda music.
You know what we must do? We must make it ourselves.
We're gonna acapella the fucking Kung Fu Panda.
No, not that. No, why would you do that? Why would we do that?
I've got you guys. It's just everybody stays quiet, just as like one of us is going. Ooh,
You saved me. Why?
Our voices are like cracking and it's like super off note. Cowboy.
God, we're idiots. Okay. Anyway, I was gonna say for the first part, I just have you go in and edit it to have that filter of like the old timey like radio sound.
Oh yeah, the static sound.
The static sound going over it the entire time. It's just like, okay, what show are we talking about today, Duke? Well, you see, going for an older one this day.
Going back in time.
Yeah,
back when anime looked very, very good. It looks good now. It just looks really good back then also.
Yeah, well, you didn't even see the movie, so yeah.
I definitely didn't see the movie.
The movie has really good hand-to-hand
Why
fight.
didn't we show Jinzu the movie?
I'd have to find it.
Oh god. Oh yeah, okay.
It's the internet, and also it was the 90s when it came out, so yeah, we're kind of screwed there.
If
Actually, not really. But
Oh yeah, pirating.
With Jinzu's main
Oh yeah, we could just sail the seas, find the One Piece.
Jinzu's main way of paying. Not at all.
So yeah, we watched Cowboy Bebop. Most of us.
I'm gonna pull up the episode list real fast. I just want to see real fast.
I'll say this is the only episode where we're not going to talk about like all the episodes.
Damn it!
Because like the one time you managed to pull up the episode list, and it's the time when I say we're not doing it.
Hey, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I didn't know you were on here.
So anyway, we're talking about Evangelion today.
I'm gonna watch
So
it.
let's get this out of the way. We recorded part 1 in September of 2022. That's how long it's been.
It is now May of 2023.
Yeah.
I may have taken a little too long to watch this.
If we watched it like I think we finished it
month, yeah.
I would say beginning October at least.
Yeah, beginning October is around the time when we finished it. We finished it quick. And we had a fun time. We messaged Jinsu many, many times throughout several months. Hey man, are you watching anything? Yeah.
Rewatching One Piece.
I'm rewatching One Piece. Oh, okay, that's fine, dude. Hey, it's on the list.
I'm busy.
Gets past the time when we need to upload Cowboy Bebop. Okay, I'll switch it with what was it at that time? I think Chainsaw Man. That's fine. Hey, we're getting kind of close again, guys. Should be fine. Okay. I'll switch it then with I'll switch it with Digimon movie.
Okay.
I'll switch it with this.
But the funniest thing, Jinsu, about this, is that you have a poster of Cowboy Bebop in your room.
I know.
That's the funniest part.
And I just refused to watch it.
Just absolutely refused. I will say, Cowboy Bebop, when I was watching it, every episode felt like a self-contained movie.
Yeah, it really did.
It was very cinematic, very what's the feel that they're going for? I feel like something noir.
Yeah, like
I think it was described as like something like cyberpunk noir almost.
Yeah, cyberpunk noir. That's actually a really good description.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what was mentioned of like that's essentially what this is.
A former hitman, an ex-cop, a con artist, a hacker kid, and a data dog.
Data dog.
Living
the
paycheck
dog
to
does not
paycheck.
do much because he's allowed to rest because he is the dog.
Because he's a corgi, he doesn't do anything.
He's a corgi. All he does is bark and eat everything.
And then there was like one episode where there was like a slime monster on the ship, and then the dog was the first to get infected with it.
And it was very much like it was reminding me of The Thing, like too much.
I'll say that's my only problem of the show. I remember the main stories of each of the characters. I don't remember many of the like in between episodes.
That's the thing, is that the side stories were very like you didn't care about the side stories because the main characters themselves were so interesting that they could carry on the story without any side talk.
There were only a few times when the side episodes piqued my interest enough for me to be like, oh, I'll remember that. Like the weird dream dude assassin looking dude.
Yeah.
Like that assassin dude that was like childlike.
Reminded me of part 3.
That you absolutely hated, I remember.
He hate his own shit.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Do you
It's
know
very
That was so funny.
in the English?
It's like, why is this happening?
I was gonna say in the English dub, they actually referenced Team 4-Star in that episode.
What?
Yeah, he says crap basket, and when asked online of like, hey, was this reference to TFS? He said, yeah, actually it was.
That's awesome.
I like
We've
how they've
come full
coined the
circle.
term crab basket.
We've come full circle.
Yeah.
Well, not we, but they, you know,
They did, and we just got to witness it.
over the course of 10 years.
Yeah, I say that's a fair thing.
It's really cool to see Team 4-Star grow and evolve over the years because, like, one thing when it came to Team 4-Star was they managed to be the main, dubbing group behind a actual official anime movie a while back. I think it was called Hells.
They got
it-
to do something like that. Yeah.
Real unique art style, I'll say that right off the bat. And a lot of the voice actors were different TFS members.
And
It was really cool.
especially like going back to Cowboy Bebop, was this the first time that Steve Bloom got like at least like a lead role?
Lead role, yes, I believe so.
Because
I'll pop up voice actor list.
because it's weird that he like started out as like the casual like chill protagonist character, and now he's evolved to be like his voice being so prominent in so many other shows and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like this is a very good like this was a strong start for him. Like he was just able to be like a chill guy and just hang out, and now he's villains, heroes, side characters, joke characters, buff characters, and all that kind of stuff. Monster characters, because he's got one of those voices.
I think his voice fits Sub-Zero the best. I think he was made to play Sub-Zero.
It's like he did the perfect amount of smoking.
He did the perfect amount of smoking.
Where he's got the deep rasp.
You got the deep rasp with like a bit of gravelly to it.
Yeah.
It's not Markiplier gravelly, but it's pretty good.
I will say Cowboy Bebop has like a lot of characters that like whenever I hear someone that I'm not sure about, I always default back to Cowboy Bebop.
Real quick, I want to mention, you mentioned the whole voice actor thing. Steve Bloom, first off, yes, actually, this is like one of his first times as like a leading role.
A prominent role.
Like prominent leading role. It's a bit of a continuation of what we were talking about the other day when we were reviewing Bleach. Can't wait for that.
Check that out if you haven't already. Please do
When
that.
it comes out.
Please watch more. Please watch more of us. Please.
But one of the things we mentioned was like how like there are so many voice actors where it's like you recognize them in so many different areas and like they do the one voice and you're just like, ugh, I don't care.
But
Steve Bloom's my favorite example of he just goes nuts.
Yeah, he's the best case scenario for someone with a recognizable voice.
Did you know he was in Digimon like the second season?
Yeah, he's the like red dude.
He's
Wait.
Flame Dramon, he's Rain Dramon, Magnamon, and Black War Greymon.
He's Black War Greymon?
Yeah. Well, look at that.
Huh.
He's also
He's
the
Magnamon?
bird.
I didn't know he was fucking Magnamon.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
I did not recognize him as Flame Dramon.
Now that I hear it, I completely hear Steve Bloom from the Flame Dramon, Fires of Courage.
I can hear him as Poromon and Pururumon.
Why is he small things? What the hell?
Because
He's a great voice actor.
Oh yeah.
That little small voice, he uses that for his Green Goblin voice. Or his Hobgoblin voice in one of the cartoons.
Is he? If he's not green, he's Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
You know, still my favorite where it's like I cannot hear Steve Bloom anytime I hear him. From Digimon as well.
I shit my pants when I realized he was that character.
Well, clean it up.
Have you ever heard Guillemon? I gotta pop up just a small bit of audio for Guillemon because holy shit.
I thought okay, that's how you pronounce it because I was gonna call him Guilemon.
Guillemon. Those noises, that's Steve Bloom.
Holy shit! You
And
gotta stop.
look up Hobgoblin. Did you not see his voice acting like course?
I need to.
Like he would advertise his voice acting course like repeatedly, and he would like list off his characters, like his different roles. Like there was Spike, there was Sub-Zero, and then it was Hobgoblin, and then Guillemon.
Zeb.
No, it wasn't Hobgoblin. It was just
yeah,
Green Goblin.
I've heard his Starscream.
Oh, it's Green Goblin. It's just Green Goblin.
I love his Starscream. Sugar!
Oh, I'm sorry. Hammerhead can't come to the phone right now. He's a bit tied up.
Wow. That's amazing. That's like I would put that on par with Mark Hamill's Joker.
Dude, holy
That
shit.
is amazing.
like
that little bit right there. I put it
Yes.
that high up.
When it comes to that, it's him and Mark Hamill are in the same camp of like when they do voices. Holy shit, is their range insane? Like it was crazy when I was watching Spider-Man, the '90s Spider-Man, and I've mentioned this before, but Hobgoblin popping up. Hobgoblin popping up and being Mark Hamill is fucking nuts.
Did you watch Star Wars Rebels?
Yes, he's Zeb.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
he's
course.
Zeb. He's Zeb in Star Wars Rebels. Is
also-
he Stitch in Lilo and Stitch?
He's Wolverine.
He
at one
is
point.
Stitch.
Is he Stitch?
Is he Stitch?
He has a role
Check
in.
cast.
No, he's Hammerhead guard.
Oh, okay.
Chris Sanders is Stitch. Who the fuck
I was-
is Chris Sanders?
Time to go down that rabbit hole. But so, Cowboy Bebop having this amazing art style, it being
Great cast.
it being Steve Bloom's first prominent role, it just I couldn't stop watching it when we started, and
We had a bunch of shows that we were supposed to watch, and we were just like, "No, we gotta watch this.
we gotta
now."
yeah, we were supposed to. What was it? I think we stopped watching One Piece so we could finish it.
Yeah, we burst through it, dude.
It was one of those ones, yeah. But it also just has one of my favorite. Like I kind of touched on a little bit, but it has one of my favorite art styles and world designs. I love when shows get really crazy with the design of things. That's like you can tell that when they were drawing or animating it, they had the blueprints to the entire thing.
He was in Initial D.
Yeah.
When are we watching that?
I don't know.
Do you like
'cause I don't-
cars? You like cars?
When are we reacting? When are
I
we
don't drive.
When are we watching all of Top Gear and Grand Tour?
But real quick, just something kind of cool. Another.
Ogremon!
He plays Ogremon, one of the best characters in Digimon.
Ogremon!
That guy Leomon, that's his rival. Yeah, Leomon and Ogremon are rivals, and it is the best thing ever.
He's Vilgax. I did not.
You didn't know he was Vilgax? He's also Ghost Freak.
That's fucking awesome.
The face that Jitsu just made.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. He does.
What the hell is that, Ben 10?
Ben 10,000?
What is that? Why does he look like
it's
that?
one of the
That's the
shitty-
reboot where for some reason they made him look more middle-aged. He gets all the bitches.
But just and just Steve Bloom as Amon in Legend of Korra. He makes that season work.
Yeah.
He makes that season.
He
just
makes that villain so much scarier.
Yeah. Cowboy Bebop has
Cowboy Bebop is fun.
It has
So
like-
Ben 10 from Cowboy Bebop.
it's basically
So
it's set in the
Vilgax from
future.
Cowboy Bebop.
It's set in the future, and you go through they go through like all of these different planets and stuff like that. There's like highways and all that kind of stuff to planets. Each one has their own theme and all that kind of stuff that I really like. Every planet looks unique, and the fact that there's one of them in a later season, there's I think it might be Europa. I think that is
Yeah.
that.
By the way, set in 2071.
2071. We are not close to that at all.
Well, I will say this. There is one thing about the timeline that makes me kind of laugh. Let me pop up.
My favorite one with the timeline is Cyberpunk, that we actually get to see the year 2023 in that game's universe and just see how it's still like as high tech as it is in 2077. Careful, Jinzu. You're about to go. You're about to go into a rabbit hole that you need to get out of.
So, something that's just funny, of all the characters in the show, Faye Valentine, it's mentioned what year she was born.
Oh yeah,
She's born in 1994.
94.
So, that just made me kind of laugh when it came down to it, of just like, you've got like this whole thing where it's like the distant future, and it's like, it was supposed to be essentially like, look how close to where we are right now that she was born. Meanwhile, right now, she's like 6 years older than us.
She's literally 6 years older.
She's
than us.
almost in her 30s.
And which is such a funny thing that we're just like, she's supposed to be how? Wait, is the joke that she's old or is the joke that she's young?
Yeah, it grows with time. Let me see. I gotta find another one that was
Because in a later episode, Jinsu, it's revealed that she was put in cryo sleep because she was injured. It was the case of she got too injured and needed to be put in cryo for technology that we would have in the future that would be able to save her.
Who?
Valentine. Faye Valentine.
Oh, right.
One of the characters, it's her in early Dragon Ball Bulma That's like those two are the prime example of the main person in charge of the show very much wanted them to be the eye candy.
So the other two that are kind of funny was apparently Spike was born in 2044.
2044?
And Jet was born in 2035.
Ah.
Yeah, so like we're like almost 10 years away from his birth year.
So Jet is born the same year that any one of us could become president.
But definitely won't.
I don't know. Never say never.
I'm going to rule the world.
I think I can.
I think fist.
I think I'd be a good president. I'd turn every building into a bowling alley. Or set it on fire.
The greatest supervillain of our time, Ironcock.
I would make baseball the national sport.
I'm still
It already is!
How funny that is. Can you imagine it's kind of like one of those like tough bosses in the mafia groups where it's like sorry boss, I wasn't able to get him. I wasn't able to beat Spider-Man. You fool! He turns and smacks his head off with his iron cock.
I will not notify you when I'm about to turn left.
And so suddenly he goes like, I want Spider-Man dead on my desk by this evening, and just smacks down, smashes his table. And it's just like, okay, boss, but your cock smashed the table.
Order me a new one.
Go through a
it should
cock
have broken.
table.
It was mahogany.
That's a good way to describe our non-spoilers, by the way, of just like, this is a show that pulls you in hard unless you're Jinzu.
Unless you don't like a show that goes, it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn, but if you like the slow visuals and spectacle and characters being like, hey, what's going on?
There are definitely episodes you could skip. It's the best way to put it. Like, there are episodes you can definitely skip. Like, once again, that weird episode where it was like the guy who his entire theming was it looked like the same as like the penguin.
Yeah, he was thematically
he looked like a floaty penguin, and so it's like, who cares about that episode? Like,
and he was a terrorist.
Yeah, turns out he had baby mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the story is so fucking good, but so fucking boring.
Yeah, I was about to say, give your input.
It's like I was enjoying it, but I was falling asleep, and then like I would pass out and then wake up to like 3 episodes later and be like, fuck, I have to watch it again, and it would take me like all day, and I'm not watching this. I'm not fucking watching this. I'm gonna do something that keeps me awake for a little bit and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, it definitely. It makes you feel like
there's lots of empty pauses. I feel like there's lots of moments where they're kind of just like holding the shot. They're holding the shot and they want you to take in the shot, but it's like it feels like they do that too often. And
like if it was in 3D or something like that, it could probably help.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like if you when you're holding a shot, it has to be like it has to have an emotional like weight to it. You can't just be like, oh, this is the planet, and then just sit on it for like 10 seconds, and then you cut to the next 10-second shot, and then you cut to the next 10-second shot.
Or like the ship there, just floating.
Yeah, or it's Spike and like his
smoking
crew,
a cigarette.
It's Spike and his crew complaining about being poor again and not having any food, and then like
let's just go do something.
It's cutting to everybody like, and then it's like, oh, you have a mission, go do it, and it's like, okay, cool, and then they go do it, and then the episode starts getting more interesting, but then I feel like it plays out really obviously, like in the episode where they're the Faye has a chip, and it's like a really important chip, and she took it by accident, and then she accidentally switches it with Spike. And then it's like, okay, let's we gotta get this chip back, so let's like make a trade deal with these guys, and then like obviously they're gonna backstab him at the end or some shit. Yeah. Or try to backstab him. And then they die anyway, and it's like, well, that was a cool episode.
they die, and then they didn't get the money, so they're still poor.
Yeah. And the only thing that I liked about that like episode was that it was very subtly hinting towards Faye's past or Valentine's past.
That's the thing too, is that like if someone were to like edit all together all of the things that we see of the person, it would probably be like a really good thing all together, like a really good watch, like a really good 30-minute video of all of, like the moments and all that kind of stuff.
Is it weird to say that I imagine Cowboy Bebop Kai would be even better?
Probably, depending on who takes it up. But that also just reminds me with Cowboy Bebop that a lot of this feels like someone's D&D campaign.
You guys are still out of money.
You have 5 seconds to
Fuck.
explain.
That basically the people, like, it's a unique cast of characters. They're trying to, here's a very simple task for you, and they needlessly overcomplicate it.
Right.
Talk to the
and don't
guy
come
at
out
the
on
end
top.
of the bar. Talk to the guy at the end of the bar.
Who else is in the bar?
Mayhem. There's a guy at the end of the bar looking directly at you with a sign that says, I have money for you.
Is there anybody else in the bar?
Schmoodle McDoodle the Goblin is at the bar.
I'm gonna talk to Schmoodle Baboodle.
He is the man in the cloak.
That's how you do it. You twist it around and just make it the same person. Schmoodle is the one that betrays you. Schmoodle, no!
I remember
McDoodles arise!
the episode where a little slime monster came in and it was going around and Spike was looking for it. That episode had me snoring, bro. It was just.
I think what they were trying to do was like be like the oh, is it in the background sort of thing. But the thing is that it's an animated show. That kind of shit can only work in live action. Because like it's like the old style of animation too, where like when you can tell when something's going to move. Where it's like, these rocks are a different animation keyframe.
Yeah. And like they're very obviously drawn differently. It's like, gee, I wonder if I wonder if those group of rocks on the mountain face right there are gonna blow. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there it goes.
It's funny that you say stuff that only works in live action, and then you consider the live action series failed after one episode.
But that's the thing.
Because the live action totally shit on the script and then like tried making their own thing. And it's like, why not just make your own story at that point? Why not just make your own, like, if you wanted to make your own space cowboy story, then just do that. Why'd you have to shit on Cowboy Bebop for it? Why did
you have to destroy the legacy of that show?
Like, you really had to smear it. You had to smear the legacy of Cowboy Bebop. You really had
What
to.
it always feels like when it comes to live action is that live action just does not like anime.
It's weird.
Like, it's people
really
that don't
weird.
like anime that are making a live action.
It's the shit like with like Henry Cavill and like how he left the people who were making The Witcher and Superman. It's like they don't care about the source material. And like they really just kind of were like, this is my spin on it. Like, no, bitch, we didn't ask for your fucking spin on it.
It's like they're trying to use it at they want to use the name, but they don't care about what it brings in.
Yeah.
Like the Halo show. Halo show. Why on earth?
I heard the Halo show got good. My coworker was telling me about this. She was telling me about how
the action is okay. The action is good.
Okay.
The story is absolute shit. If you know anything about the Halo show, the Halo series, the Halo games,
yeah,
you know how they're really good at storytelling.
Yeah.
The show shits on that. You know what they? I thought. Okay. I'm gonna touch this real fast with the Halo show. Then we can move on.
I was gonna say John Halo.
That's what we call him. Like that's what we call that version, Master Chief.
Well, I was
John
gonna say,
Halo.
isn't there a character you've told me before? There's a character whose name was at almost to the joke of John Halo, and it was a woman.
I don't remember this.
I remember something about you saying that.
But here's the stupidest thing to show that people don't understand this like series. Like they don't understand Halo. The main city on Reach in the show is called Reach City. But all you have to do is look at anything in the source material related to Reach, and you see New Alexandria. That's the name of the city. That's
such a more interesting name
than Reach City for Planet Reach.
Writing, am I right? When you have a team of writers and
they fumble that badly. They fumble so badly. I saw someone who was like, here's how they would do a 1-season take on Combat Evolved.
Right.
And it is so much like even their like first draft read through of it that is almost verbatim what happens in the game is still leagues ahead of what they had in that show.
Do you guys remember the first iteration of Sonic, like how he looked in the movies?
Yes.
Yeah, and then everyone shit on it and was like, "That's not what he looks like." Google image Sonic the Hedgehog, please.
Bad. Bad.
So they changed it. They changed it finally.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Why
That
are they just so
mad.
terrible? It's because like, oh, you like this thing. That means that you are incompetent. I'm going to put this person in charge who doesn't like it of the same thing. I'm going to put someone who doesn't like the Witcher series in charge of The Witcher and make a deal with the main character, with the main actor that is a very big fan of the series, and just make them shit on the series that they love and be surprised when they leave.
And then didn't they make up a bunch of shit about Henry Cavill? They called him like an incel or some shit, or like
The person that they legally hired to smear Henry Cavill couldn't find anything, and then it was revealed that they were in trouble for actually doing a bunch of terrible shit.
Excuse me?
Ooh.
The Spartans rebel. A huge portion of the show is devoted to Master Chief figuring out what he was done to him at the hands of... He knows what happened to him! He finds out he was stolen from his home and parents by... Yes! They tell you! They replace you with a clone of you that dies and gets cancer or whatever immediately as soon as they replace you, so that your family thinks that you're dead. The game... in the games, this is an event that has never happened. For the most part, Spartans remained duty-driven and focused on performing any task given to them. Exactly! It's like, what? Like, the Spartans never rebel because it's like, yes, the person that made us, she's an asshole, but we're still gonna choose humanity's existence over our, like, self-worth or whatever. Yeah, the Covenant speak English in this thing. Like, they don't, and then there's this random girl that's a human that basically fills in the role of the Arbiter without even giving us the Arbiter.
Maki.
And then there's a sex scene with Master Chief with an obvious spy. Okay, we can't get into this. We can't get into it.
Yeah. You understand my anger towards DC.
The live action One Piece is gonna be dog shit.
Oda,
I'm gonna have fun with it because like Oda's behind it, so it's like, you know what? Let's see.
No, Oda said that, like, when people were saying that the live action, like, test screenings were, like, bad, and he's just like, we're gonna rework on this because while I'm alive, I want this to work.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I'll give it a chance. I haven't given Cowboy Bebop live action a chance because of how immediately I heard how bad it was. Immediately.
Yeah, same with the Velma show.
Duke and I have had our rants. Do you want to get into the Velma rant?
Honestly, I don't care enough to rant about it. It was a dumb Indian lady making a shitty version of Velma. Like, I don't know how to... like, Mindy, what's her face? I forgot her last name. She was in The Office. She was funny in The Office because she played an annoying, stupid, like, just chick who was...
she played to herself.
Yeah, she played to herself, so it worked, and it was funny. But, like... You can't do that to Velma. You can't apply that to every character. That's not.
You can't destroy what people know about these established characters.
Yeah, and it's kind of like Teen Titans Go, where it felt like they were very clearly and very obviously mocking the fans of the original source material, and
which is very weird.
It's like, why do that?
In a movie.
It's so weird whenever that happens because it's just like,
isn't that the audience you're catering to?
Yeah,
isn't that who you want to watch your shit?
It's like when someone makes a video game and they're just like making fun of people that make video games.
It was the point when I had no problem with my sister watching it for the longest time. It was only until there was a episode that I watched.
What's it?
Teen Titans Go.
There you go.
There was an episode that I saw her watching where I was like, no, this has to stop. Like, this is bullshit. It was an episode by the name of 6 Seasons in a Movie. I wonder why it was called that. And the entire episode is just the rest of the Titans getting pissed off because Beast Boy and Cyborg are upset that it's basically a whole analogy that the clowns that they're doing are just essentially cartoons. Yeah, and it's like these clowns are ridiculous. Like, they're so goofy and silly. And it's like, yeah, no, that's clowns. And it's like it's for kids. Only kids can enjoy this stuff. And saying like, you ought to ignore it because it's like cartoons have always been for kids. So if you expect any sense of drama or suspense or anything, then you're just stupid.
Then you're raising your expectations for
enjoyed this too much, man.
Like, wow, I'm not giving you any more money.
Wow, it's almost like it was good and better than this.
Yeah, it's so weird that whenever it's like we are making this better and we're also gonna ostracize anybody who liked the original thing and doesn't like this. What we've done with it.
Maybe not ostracized, but like slander.
Slander. That it's just like you hate it now. You hate this thing you've loved all your life, and it's like, no, you just ruined it.
You shit on it.
Star Wars 7, 8, 9.
You know the thing that makes
Shit on Luke Skywalker!
Yeah.
Everything George Lucas made about Luke Skywalker in Star Wars was making him awesome! What happens in the 8th movie? The whole plotting of the sequel trilogy. They make Luke Skywalker a bitch!
They made him a side character.
He's supposed to be the main character until he fucking dies!
Yeah. I was gonna say this, just a little bit of a trivia of I don't even hate that show, Teen Titans Go. It's just, it honestly disappoints me because of the fact that I know the writers can do really good.
Yeah, isn't it the same people that made the original show?
It's the same people that made the Mario movie.
Illumination?
No,
that's
the
animation studio.
the directors of the Mario movie are the same people who made Teen Titans Go.
I think the
You see
same
how
people
good
that
that
were
humor is?
holding, the same people that had their heads being held forward by Nintendo.
But no, it's like they had the movie, the Teen Titans Go movie. Like, I watched that. It's not bad. And you know the reason why it's not bad? Because they're not focused on getting pissed off at old fans who didn't like Teen Titans Go.
Yeah,
That's the problem. The thing about this show is that so much of it is just, it doesn't feel like you're making it for kids anymore. It just feels like it's a bunch of angry adults just yelling at other angry adults. It just
and then
feels
just sliding
weird.
in a random poop joke.
Dude, that's the thing. Wait, what joke?
A random poop joke.
That's the thing. You'd be used to poop jokes for kids shows, right? No, they make jokes about real estate. There's actual episodes. Of the show
isn't there one where
they
Beast
talk
Boy
about real estate?
Beast Boy is like a leprechaun thing, and he like starts teaching them about the gold standard.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, like
What?
like it's an actual thing that happens in Teen Titans Go. I was like, what the fuck? Like someone just shared this random clip, and I was just watching it. And I'm just like,
Meanwhile, all the cartoons from the early 2000s to the 2010s were about being a good person.
yeah,
Just be a good person.
Avatar.
Avatar, Teen Titans,
some
Teen
shows- I was
Titans.
gonna say, there are some
Adventure
shows-
Time.
There are some shows that still have that like classic spirit of like teach you to be a good person, teach you all these good lessons. That's fine. It's like this show sees that, hates the cartoons that do that, and at the same time hates the people that want it to be different. And it's like, what are you doing? I don't even understand it anymore. Like, once again, jokes about real estate, jokes about saving for your retirement.
It's like
There's an entire episode where future versions of themselves come back in time and teach them to start saving up for when they retire.
better
to make
invest
sure
in
they
Apple.
teaching about compound interest.
What
Robin, invest
They
in
literally,
Bitcoin.
they literally say they have a full description of how compound interest works.
It's like it's a weird mentality that it's like they almost felt like they were forced to write those shows in a negative way.
Yeah.
And
That's
now that they have the freedom to express themselves, I use freedom with quotation marks because they've always had the freedom, but it's like they reacted to that way that they had to write shows. They react to it in such a negative way that basically anything to do with that original way that it wasn't their true image for what they wanted to write or something like that. That's what I'm trying to figure out, just like with it being such a common trend.
That's what it is. The biggest thing, the reason why people get so angry when certain shows or media
get rebooted.
make fun of certain topics.
That too.
The thing that pisses people off is when it is a piece of media making comments of how stupid is this bit of media while being that source of media.
Oh.
That's a lot of the reason why Velma made people mad.
I saw
people. It was so many jokes of, man, cartoons are so stupid for kids and shit.
Yeah, and it's like shitting on people
You're a
who,
cartoon.
People shitting on people who watch cartoons, shitting on people who like Scooby Doo, shitting on people who like good writing.
Writers
in their
of
stories.
writers of animated series making comments that like people like adults who watch cartoons are a bunch of like
Loser
fucking
nobodies.
losers.
And then they tried going for the meme
While making
where-
adult shows.
yeah, you know the meme where someone's confused and then like all
The
a fuck ton of math.
equations.
Yeah,
and
all the
shit.
math shows up, and then they put up the quadratic formula, and they didn't even get that right. They didn't even get that fucking
I
right.
remember that.
I was actually upset, but like personally
Yeah,
upset
you.
by that.
I saw when you posted about that. Like
Yeah,
you made a story.
I made a post about it because I was like, dude, they didn't even get the quadratic formula right. There's another Indian chick making this shit, and they didn't make the fucking quadratic formula right. How do you just have to look it up? You just have to look it up and copy it. I fucking had to sing the quadratic formula to row your boat, and it's not hard.
It's still in my head.
It's so easy.
How do I do taxes?
I was gonna say it was a similar thing of like it's stupid when cartoon media makes fun of
Cartoon
people
media?
people who enjoy cartoon media, and it's like that's your target demographic. Why are you making fun of them? That's stupid. It's the reason why I get so upset about the Teen Titans Go, because the writers for that, they know how to do good. The Teen Titans Go movie, wanna know what they made fun of in there?
What?
Comic book movie culture. They made fun of that. Like, it was basically talking about how we're so oversaturated with movies of all these characters, and you got so many people announcing like a million different movies for characters who you do not give a single fuck about, to the point where it's like okay, that means that's the only way for people to care about you, right?
Yeah.
Have a movie about you.
Have a movie.
Like, that's the entire joke of the movie, of like Robin trying to get a movie about himself. Because it's like, that's the only way people will care about me. By getting a movie.
Doesn't matter if the movie's good.
And also, it's the Titans actually being nice and being like, okay, we're going to support our friend through this. This is a dumb idea. We're going to support you, though, because
You're
we
a
can
friend.
tell you're our friend. Yeah.
And we're not going for the joke and being like, ha ha.
Also, a joke that I will, to the day I die, appreciate is... they had a song literally named Upbeat Inspirational Song About Life. And wanna who it was sung by?
Huh.
The guy who made the songs in Tarzan.
Phil Collins?
Yeah.
Holy
Phil
shit.
Collins sings the song. You know how he usually does upbeat inspirational songs about life?
I wanna know.
Yeah.
And you show
Well,
me.
now imagine Phil Collins singing, it's an upbeat inspirational song about life. It's so obvious they're going for the joke with that, but it's like, you know what? You went the full mile and got Phil Collins.
So anyway,
fucking sold.
So anyway, Cowboy Bebop.
So yeah, no. Now that we're at that,
So
rant.
anyways, Adventures in
So-
Space.
So anyway, so once again,
anyway.
I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about all the episodes because, like, once again, there's some boring episodes.
Please snort into the mic.
Oh right, okay. I tried. I don't know why I went for a visual joke. Not visual.
Did you want to go visual?
No.
No.
Anyways.
We'll just put you in a box.
Put me in a box.
And the mic's just sticking, and like the box is very clearly like has the mic stuffed into it. It's just like
the box is just glass.
I will go in order of importance to the story.
episode 1.
In reverse order. That way we can get to the best story at the end. Yeah, because I want to talk about Spike's story at the end. Yeah. So first one to mention, in order of importance, Ein, the dog.
The dog is
His
literally
story.
just there.
His story. He was experimented on. He was saved by Spike. He's now in the background everywhere. The moment that Ed pops into the story, he becomes Ed's dog.
And at the very end, Ed takes him.
Yeah.
Like when they split up.
The whole group basically splits up except for Jet and Spike. And
So not the whole
Ein
group.
and Ed.
Exactly.
So like half the group.
Yeah, well, less than half of the group stays, basically.
You're gonna count the dog as part of the group,
Yes!
and not just the dog in the group.
Do you count Scooby as part of the group?
Okay, but Scooby
Scooby has more
character.
personality.
Scooby has character.
I don't consider Ein.
You don't consider Ein?
Ein's the fucking dog that's there. He's in the back.
He got high with them!
Scooby.
He got high with them!
Yeah, Scooby gets high with Shaggy, and then he talks, and then they fucking.
We don't know how Ed's seeing him.
You don't know how Ed's mind
I'm
works.
fully messing around now, but
Yeah.
just
yeah.
imagine in Ed's eyes, it's just like Ein looks to him.
Row, Red. Oh no, Red.
There's Scooby snacks, Red.
We
We don't have any food.
We don't have any food.
We don't have any money. Every episode, we don't have money. Aren't you a genius? Can't you make us money? I don't want to.
Only a genius with electrical stuff.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is the entire industry of the entire setup of the world.
I know.
Yeah.
Everything is electronic and like technological based.
There-
Whatever.
There was this one episode that, like, I just want to bring it up real fast, where it's like Spike crash lands nearby someone who just so happened to own his ship before he got his ship.
Yeah, that was a weird filler episode.
It was a really weird filler episode, and then all of a sudden, and then like when they're trying to fight this person or whatever, like Spike is trying to get the ship back working, it fails again, and basically gets destroyed. But Spike gets saved by the guy who's piloting the NASA space shuttle.
What?
That he like retrofitted, and like it's like in the same way of someone like
That was
bringing
the
a
only
muscle
part I
car
really
to modern
liked.
car standards.
Oh, like tuning the shit out of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the part that I actually did like about it. Just seeing the
Space shuttle just going.
like it was the kind of thing where nowadays you'd see the space shuttle pop out and it's just bouncing in the back. It's just like, check out my muscle vehicle.
It's so funny. It's so funny when they
My
try-
muscle shuttle.
They're portraying something like working like half-assed in like space, but it like has gravity as if it's on Earth.
Yeah.
So it's like, even though that's not how it would be. Like, and then, like,
just fart along.
going in a straight line.
Yep.
On Earth, it would be like, oh shit, okay.
Oh fuck!
You know, a planet with gravity on it.
Yeah. But next,
Yeah, I was gonna say, next up was Ed. And Ed has very little in the story that is important. Ed exists.
Ed is a construct
Ed is
of your.
Ed.
There has been a question in my mind, like at a certain point of the show, where it's just like Ed is just kind of doing its own thing, and you're just like, "Are you real? Are you real?
Just do you exist?
Because the
Am
way
I
that
high? Are you high?
the way that Spike just absolutely waves him off. I don't like women. I don't like kids, and I don't like dogs. He waves him off so easily, and it's just like
Wait, who said that?
Spike.
Spike said that's funny.
that's like one of the best because like he says that, and then he's and then
Like
he goes,
episode 2.
and then like the next line he goes like then like later on it's just like, and now I have one of each on our ship.
Mm-hmm.
He gets so pissed.
It's great that he gets so pissed. It's treated as such a good joke, and the way that they make it so sad towards the end when their group splits up, and I think it was something like he said like, and this is the reason I don't like it. Like,
Oh,
this-
yeah,
and it was
he's like,
and you
because
just
the
feel bad for him. It's
emotional-
like, oh fuck.
because like the emotional weight, like the emotional caring that he cares about them and all that kind of stuff, and then them being like leaving.
Yeah.
Like he
So-
doesn't like that. That's why he doesn't like them.
So
So it's not that he doesn't like them; he doesn't like losing them.
Exactly. It's like whenever it's
Exactly,
like
that's
it's like
what it
whenever
is.
it's the meme that's like, my dad said that we should that he doesn't want a dog, that he doesn't care about a dog, and then when we get the dog, he loves him. And it's like, yeah, he's gonna love the pet when you have it, but he's gonna hate when it dies.
Yeah, that's why I don't want a pet again after my cat dies. I'm just gonna stop. I'm gonna take care of myself.
I got my chicken.
Yeah, you got chickens.
I got my chickens.
So, when it came to Ed's story, whole thing was basically hacker kid who joins the group and,
Like against their will.
very much against their will, and just does a bunch of crazy shit while like everybody else is doing their own thing.
This is definitely the kind
He's-
of person that joins the group, the D&D group late, like later on when they've
and
already
no one
got
else
this-
noticed they joined.
No, and like the other people of the group didn't have a choice, but the DM was like, yeah, just bring them in, we'll be fine. And then they don't really. This is their first time ever playing D&D, and they're very like
Chaotic.
chaotic and all that kind of stuff. That they're just like, I can do whatever. Okay.
when it comes to Ed is the best in a lot of the different like what feel like filler episodes, because Ed is just going off and just doing whatever the hell Ed wants. Like
That is the best way to refer to Ed as Ed.
Yeah, in the third person.
Ed.
like it's weird to say, but like there's even jokes made about that of like
And
like
Spike was just like, are you a boy or a girl? I'm Ed.
it's just like, look, there's Ed, the weird little girl boy thing.
Thing. Puppy dog thing.
Ed.
It's like in Chowder when they were trying to define what Chowder is.
Yeah,
Bear, raccoon, puppy, dog thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because when it comes to Ed, like there's several episodes of just that kid just going off and doing a bunch of crazy shit, including everybody on the ship getting high to like some influence of like I don't even remember what it was. There was some kind of parasite that was messing them up.
Weed.
It was not weed. Do you remember the scene where it was Spike going, like it showed like in his mind he was going up a bunch of stairs and just wouldn't stop going up, and then in actuality he's just taking the same steps.
Oh yeah, he's just like going back. He's like going up and down on the.
He's
first
not going
step.
up and down. He's just stepping
on the same step
while looking at the steps.
And he's just doing that, and meanwhile, in his head, he's been walking for hours.
Man, we got some long stairs.
But, like, it was all of them high, and meanwhile, Ed's just flying around doing whatever the hell, just having fun. Or still, my favorite is the one where they were moving the mushrooms. And the fact that episode had a reference to Shaft.
Of all things, Shaft.
Yeah, Jinzu. There's an episode where they make a reference to Shaft.
Like,
you know who Shaft is?
The movie with Samuel L. Jackson.
As like a James Bond kind of character, like spy, like crime fighter dude.
And when I say reference, I full on mean the character pops up and his name is Shaft.
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It just happens, I don't know. It's weird. It's just like, well, this is cool. This is cool, I guess. But still, my favorite moment from that episode is Ed looking at the box of mushrooms that he stole from a drug dealer, and just like they're messing with it. He's like, "Ooh, look at this!" And like he throws it, and Ein goes off and eats it, and Ein, the moment he eats it, just it starts bouncing. It starts bouncing all the way down the road.
It's like his jet engine started. It
is legitimately my favorite clip I've seen of just any animal in anime.
Yeah, Ein has like the least amount of like it's like the live action. Oh god, it's like the live action Lion King, but actually done good.
Wow.
Bunny hops.
I love them.
Shrooms do fight against depression.
That took away any sign of depression for me.
So would Valentine or Jet be next?
Next would be Valentine. So wait, end of Ed's story was like around the episode when they all split up was
he just found Ed's dad.
They found Ed's dad.
And he was just
okay, Jinzu, listen to this setup. Some random crackhead runs out of nowhere, pops out of this like
excavation.
It was an excavation machine, alongside his assistant. Runs in and just starts beating the shit out of Spike and Jet.
It's just like, what are you doing on my turf?
Yeah, not even speaking. No, not speaking at all. He's laughing and just going nuts as he's like beating. It's like he is high off his balls. He's fighting Jet and Spike, and then where does it lead? My kid!
Yeah, like Ed shows up. It's just like, what is happening? And it's just like, my child.
Ed's just like, what's going on? And the dad just goes, Ed! And he's, Papa! And they go back together. It's like, well, I'm taking my kid. Let's go.
And Ein goes with him.
And yeah, Ein goes with him. It's just like, what just happened? What the fuck?
I guess the group's done now.
Holy shit. Yeah, Jinzu, once again, that was the most crack-fueled part of the story.
What?
Just Ed's dad showing up, beating the shit out of Spike and Jet, and seeing his son is going, my son, you want to go with me? Sure. Okay. And they just leave.
I'm taking the dog.
That
is legitimately the end of Ed's story.
That's how Ed leaves.
Yeah. It is literally... Here's Ed.
You know what I realized?
Go on.
You know what I realized about Cowboy Bebop? The story is about taking life as like taking things as they come to you. And like you don't really attach yourself to anything. You just kind of are.
You go with the flow.
And things just happen. No, you don't. It's not going with the flow. It's just being. You're just being. You're not going with anything. You're just there.
Yeah.
And then when things happen to you, you're just like, oh, well, shit. That's what it feels like Cowboy Bebop's about. Cause I don't know. I watch everything happen, and then it's like contained in one episode, and then it's done, and the characters are like, well, we're broke again.
Well, it's almost like nothing literally just happened.
What would you say is the lesson of Cowboy Bebop?
Living like Edward.
Yeah.
Living like Edward.
That's the true lesson we all learned.
Yeah, it feels like the story's about letting go of your past and to just take things as they come to you, and not to worry about the future, and let go of the past, and to just live in the now and not worry.
It's funny you say that after having only watched half the show, because the second half of the show really pushes that message. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, the last few episodes are entirely about Faye leaving her past, Spike leaving his past, and even Jet leaving his past.
Cause there's so many moments. I watched, like, up to episode, like, 15, 13.
You said 15 last time, yeah.
I was lying. I got up to where that one soldier who like had boobs.
Yeah,
and
that episode sucked.
Yeah, and they're like on the planet where there's like no women. So like that was like one of the last episodes. But basically like all the subtle hints towards each character's past, and like the very short and specific flashbacks that each character had, or when a character would go back and like talk to another character from their past, like when Jet went to go talk to his old girlfriend.
Yes.
Or when Spike, I think in that episode where where Faye meets that one guy, I forgot his fucking name, but at the end of it, the guy that Faye meets is like in love with Vicious or something, or like he's like indebted to Vicious. Like he has some attachment to Vicious, but Vicious doesn't care anymore because that was like back in like the war long ago.
It was during the war.
And then Spike is also Spike just kind of shows up, and then they have like their little mini scuffle, and then the whole time I think the whole time I always felt like the story was trying to have me ask, who's Vicious? What is his relationship to Spike? What the fuck is going on with this Red Ruby bullshit? The red eye crack.
It's 100% the reason why I'm leaving Spike to talk about Spike towards the end, because holy shit, Spike's got real good story.
I know he has like I've seen bits and pieces of it. I had a friend who always talked about she referenced Cowboy Bebop a lot, and I think it was a story that she really appreciated, and she really loved the character Valentine because her character was very like. Yeah, like that. and then she was mysterious. She was attractive in many ways besides physically.
There was an intrigue there with how she is and how she reacts.
Yeah, she was cool. Faye's a really cool character, by like every definition of it, and like the cool character with the tragic past, that type of shit.
It's like someone.
I'm glad you mentioned her because that is actually the character I want to bring up next.
Was Valentine, yeah. She's one of the cases of a female character having suaveness, I would say.
Yeah. She has like a smoothness to her that she always carries about.
But obviously, when she gets angry, she loses her temper and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, and then that friend, she specifically showed me a clip of Valentine and Spike talking, and it was Spike showing her. It was Spike showing her his eyes, about how one eye sees the past, one eye sees the present or whatever, or the future.
I think it was the future. And here I am, stuck in the present.
Yeah. And it was like, I don't know, she was showing it to me for some emotional reason, and I was like, wow.
Dude.
I should watch the show.
I was going to say, the craziest part about that? That's like one of the last episodes.
Yeah.
That's when it's like, it's after Ed already left and the ship is already just feeling so empty.
For reference,
cold.
that's the last time that Faye sees him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. Let's get to Faye. So, Faye's story...
Moving on from Faye.
So, Faye's story is basically, to summarize it, she got into an accident when she was younger, when she was a kid.
Faye Valentine, at first, when she was first introduced, she definitely felt like she was going to be like a misty, annoying character. And it's like, but she was very like toned down from that archetype. She definitely inspired it, I will say. She was... like the female protagonist that's with the hero that definitely is like, why are you being such an idiot and all that kind of stuff. But with her, it definitely makes a lot more sense. With it being a much more like set in nonfiction type of show with death and all that kind of stuff being a possibility and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
That kind of character does fit a bit more.
By the way, I was gonna say, when it came to Faye, like the way that her character sometimes is, do you think that for some reason every time I see her, I feel like she partially inspired Jessie from Pokemon?
Yeah, I was gonna say her, but I was like,
You
nah.
thought that too?
I was getting those vibes. I was like, she feels like if Jesse and James were like in one
Together in one person.
We're like in one dumbass.
And Meowth. And
Yeah, it's the cunning of Meowth. It's the kindness of James and the
bitch.
The conniving of Jessie. I mean, Jessie's really kind too. She's really sweet sometimes. But
yeah, she's great. I love Jessie. She's one of my.
What's that one? There was that one clip that was shared around of Jessie and James, like their usual rhyme, and it was very obvious they changed the rhyme at the end because it was going with Jessie's bitching.
Complaining.
With James's itching and Jessie's complaining.
No. With James's fuck, what was it? Moaning and itching.
Moaning and itching,
and Jesse's complaining.
I love the voice actor for James. Is so
let's
send those whining women back to the Stone Age.
It's also Brock and Seto Kaiba. You know Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
It's Jesse. It's James. It's James and Brock. Can you hear Brock and Seto Kaiba?
Yes, I definitely before I knew the voice actor was the same, I didn't hear it, but then as soon as I heard that they were the same, I instantly
made the connection. Yeah.
It was like the final puzzle piece. Whenever that happens, it's the final puzzle piece and you're just like, that makes sense.
That was such a fun edit with it's I think our most popular video like from the Pokemon reviews of Pokemon Heroes because partway through you mentioned you made a joke about Brock's voice actor and you say hey, voice of Brock, that's not my name. I don't care. Anyway.
Hey, voice of Brock, that's not my name. I don't care.
And so what I did for the edit was I got the image of the voice actor of Brock and I just put Brock's face on him. So it's truly
fucked up.
Like I don't care who this is.
Way to dehumanize him, man.
It's what we do.
It was too easy of a joke of just like, hey, voice of Brock, that's not my name. Well, it is now. Anyway.
Yeah, please look it up, Jinsu, please.
It was the first thing that came up. Johnny Young Bosch.
John Young Bosch! No! That is not the voice of Brock. He voices Ichigo.
I looked at the voice of Brock.
Voiced by...
Oh, because that's his voice in Pokemon Origins.
Oh, right. His voice actor changes a lot, too. That's another
Eric
thing.
Stewart.
Okay.
I was going to say...
Is he little?
Huh?
Stuart Little.
No. It was Eric Stewart. Also, mind you, that's the same series where the voice of Meliodas is Red.
Oh.
Yeah. No, there were a bunch of cool voice actors.
He's known for voicing Brock and James in Pokemon, the other motherfucker, and Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Seto Kaiba is one of the greatest... I still believe to this day that Seto Kaiba is one of the greatest rival characters in any anime, period, because...
Pot of Greed!
Have you ever seen a motherfucker so damn mad that he didn't get the final win, that he built a machine to send himself to the afterlife just to prove he was better than you?
I'm going to kill myself.
That's really what it was.
It's a suicide machine!
There are some people who... Okay, what it was literally, it was a machine that goes all the way to the edge of space and launches you down.
Okay.
So it sends you to the afterlife.
Is there really a down, though, in space?
Okay, back to Earth. Well... When you're still technically in the gravitational field of the Earth, yes, there is a down of, oh no, I'm going down and fucking dying.
Wait, but you said it was on the edge of space. So...
A known
where
space.
It's about to be space.
Oh wait, no, you made it worse! I was about to give you an out!
Like going...
the exosphere!
The exosphere, yes, exactly. But basically, he was around that point, and the machine literally just launches him so fucking fast that it puts him into the afterlife.
That turns him
and
into
then
red
he
mist.
traveled across the deserts of Egypt all the way to the Pharaoh just to kick his ass.
So Faye Valentine.
Yeah, no, I just had to mention it because this is the funniest fucking thing ever. Anyway, Faye Valentine, when she was a kid, got clocked out by an accident, was put into this whole like cryopod.
Got amnesia.
70 years later, amnesia, and is trying to figure out her story. And throughout the series, it's basically her trying to figure out these different aspects of her story, which include like, oh, it turns out that the accident was done by an ex-boyfriend. Oh, the accident was done by this doctor. Oh, the accident this, the accident that. And
she was literally the victim of circumstance.
Yes.
Of just literally just them being like, you.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but when it came to her end of the story, essentially, the best way to put it, she got her memories back. She believes that she's finally found a home for herself, but is rejected because obviously she's built a new life.
Yeah,
like
she's a different
her past
person.
No longer matters because it's the reason why amnesia is the most terrifying thing in my opinion. Like, of all things to happen to you, a coma, that's scary. Of like, especially when you're conscious of everything happening around you.
Broken arm, ow.
It's scary to have a broken arm, but it's not as terrifying as, like, consider mayhem. Imagine right now, everything you've known from your past is gone.
Hell yeah.
Everything.
Hell
and you
yeah.
don't know who any of us are. You don't know who your family is.
Yeah. So you know what that means?
Okay,
I can kill you and not think about it.
I realize now I'm talking to the insane one, and giving the worst possible outcome for you.
What do you mean the best?
Sorry, worst for us, best for you.
Hell yeah.
Jinsu, hey, somebody who's more sane. How would you feel about amnesia?
How would I feel about amnesia?
Getting amnesia.
Yeah,
I remember.
I would. I would just remember it. Fucking idiots. No.
I would snap my fingers and you will forget you were gay. But wait, I was never gay.
I forgot I had dementia.
I remembered.
I think me personally, I was thinking about it because you guys brought it up. I was like, what the fuck would I do if I had amnesia? I feel like I would look for who I was, but then at some point just give up. Me like, fuck it, it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, I'll be honest. For a second, the way you were phrasing it at the beginning, it really sounded like those memes of like me personally. It's just like Jinsu's amnesia route is just me personally. I wouldn't forget.
We all have. We have
me
three.
Personally, I want to forget. Remember, Americans never forget.
We have 9/11. We have.
I was talking about the Alamo.
We have our 3 different ways of reacting to amnesia: fear, apathy, and excitement.
That's a great way to put it, honestly.
Because it doesn't...
You've already got like 3 new identities waiting for you.
I got 3 restarts.
It doesn't matter who you were. It matters who you are. So
I'd probably be less crazy. So
Jinsu,
no, I wouldn't do it.
Jinsu, you're the definition of it is what it is.
Yeah. Like,
You just...
oh, who the fuck was I? Oh well. If I forgot it, that means it didn't matter.
I was someone else. Bullshit. I'm me.
yeah.
Jinsu, do you remember anything? My name's Jinsu.
I want to write that now.
Is.
I want to write that now. Like someone who has amnesia, but they're still the same person. Like they don't even give.
And then like someone from their past is just like, "Oh my god, we found you. You have amnesia."
What do you mean you found me?
What do you mean?
I've been here the whole time.
What chapter of my story have you been part of?
Yeah.
You said I was part of your story, but no, you haven't been part of mine.
Who are you?
You have amnesia. I'm your long lost wife. Like you didn't divorce me or anything because you got amnesia. So like we're still married.
Do you have proof?
Yes, it's right here. That's not my name.
Send proof.
Do you have proof?
Send proof.
What's your
I was
proof?
gonna say, bitch, you have 2 options: either send proof or send soapy jiggly pics.
What's your proof? Okay, I believe you.
All right.
I was editing some shorts this morning, and it was the Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and just getting to Jinsu's joke of just like, babe, I'm really depressed. Send me some soapy jiggly pics.
Please tell me you put Jigglypuff covered in soap.
I plan to.
Well, anyways,
Good.
Anyways, babe, I'm depressed. Can you clap without your hands? Can you give me a round of applause without your hands?
Yay!
Hell yeah! Still don't know how you do it.
Or why it sounds so fucking thick, but whatever.
Why they sound like giant pairs of hands clapping. When would you reveal to me the hands?
He must never know. Look out the window and there's just a giant...
She's kind of like a giant brother or something like that.
No, just a normal giant that she just found. Anyway,
BFG.
so Faye's story, after that whole thing of she discovers her story and realizes that she doesn't have to worry about her past, she finally goes back to Spike in the gang and is like, well, I'm going to move on with my story just as Spike is getting ready to go back to his, and it's like, God damn it, I just got everything back!
God damn it, I thought I found my place in the world. And Spike goes, watch this.
Watch this, I'm gonna do a pro gamer move.
Mr. Bombastic.
This is what we call a pro gamer move. But, so anyway, Jet, yeah. Let's get to Jet's story.
Jet has to be...
He's an ex-cop.
He's definitely the adult of the group.
Yeah.
But like in the D&D sense, where it's like he's the one where it's just like, I just want to keep doing what my guy has been doing. Like he follows his moral compass more than anything else.
Yeah, Jet, dad of the group. Let's go ahead and talk about him, because when it comes to Jet, his whole thing is that he's an ex-cop who was just through the ringer when it came to his life, and so eventually met up with Spike and just decided to go off and be a bounty hunter.
This guy needs some adult father figure guidance. I got you.
Do they explain at any point how those two met?
I don't think so. I think it's kind of just happened.
They just did, yeah.
In the same way that with Ed and Valentine, that it kind of just happened.
Yeah, that's actually fair enough.
It's like with Luffy and finding just one of the Straw Hats. It just kind of just happens.
Honestly, when it comes to Jet, he's the one who's most disconnected from his own story, because it's like occasionally he'll have an episode dedicated to his story, but
most of the time he just has to keep him alive.
He's the one person who's kind of accepted, like he's the ultimate like individual of the lesson of your past does not define you. He's moved on from it.
He already moved on. If it's like the 5 stages of grief, he's already in the acceptance area.
Yeah, he's in acceptance. What would it be? Would it be that
probably Valentine?
Be in denial.
Probably Ed.
Probably Ed.
Would be in denial. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Of course, one of the 5 stages. One of the 5 stages is obviously dog.
Dog. Yeah, he gets replaced with dog. Whichever one that is left open has now been turned into dog.
Anger becomes dog.
Debda. It goes denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. So it goes.
Would Ed be would Ein
Spike
be
would be bargaining.
Spike would be bargaining? Oh yeah. That could definitely work. Yeah. I'm sad now.
Is Jet acceptance or?
Yes.
Yeah, Jet would be acceptance. Yeah, he's already passed it.
Like every episode that talks about his backstory, it shows he feels a bit of connection to it, but he's moved on.
He's the most removed from his past life and people from it and all that kind of stuff. He's the most removed.
I realized he was the most mature character when he told Spike, we're having beef and lettuce today, and it was just lettuce, and he goes, it is when you're
when you can't afford beef.
Spike's like, this isn't beef and lettuce supposed to have beef? It is beef and lettuce when you're broke.
That's such a good introductory thing for a character where it's just like, however, the way that they react to this isn't right.
Hey, you said this was gonna have this. It is there. What do you mean? We're broke, dickhead. Deal with it.
Exactly. And now for the last
Jet,
one.
Yeah, just once again, he's disconnected from the story. By the end of the story, it is him backing up Spike and helping him to technically lead to acceptance. Yeah.
Yeah. Jet is the one that helps.
What's the second to last step of grief?
Denial, anger, bargaining.
We already said.
No, I was asking.
What's the exact steps? We didn't say the actual steps. So it was denial, anger, bargaining.
Depression.
Oh, depression. Okay.
That's Spike.
I was gonna say. So in other words, that'd be Spike.
Yeah.
There you go.
And Jed being acceptance helping the one.
Yeah, no, Spike is 100% depression.
Depressed.
That motherfucker is like, I hate women, and I
So-
hate kids, and I hate dogs.
I
Why? Because I had a girlfriend, I had a kid, and I had a dog!
and they're all dead.
It's kind of what it is. So let's talk about his story of he was a part of a gang, got with a girl while in the gang.
Wasn't her name like Jenny or some shit?
Probably. In the rain, getting shot in the rain.
I think the movie shows her more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think what the movie is, like, if it's not a retelling of the show, then it's definitely what happened to Spike before the show started.
Right.
It's definitely a prequel, and she would be in it a lot.
Yeah, because Spike's really flirty in the movie.
Yeah, I love a woman who can kick my ass. And it's like, that does not represent your character in the show.
But that line represents me more than anything I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So you guys say that. I say I want a girl who will
Julia.
actually threaten me with a knife and come at me with a knife.
Okay, but it's the same energy. It's the same energy, like... It's the same, like... The same
I've got an exact
frequency.
way that I want it to be.
It's the same frequency of emotion. Like, you want someone who will attack you.
Sounds great.
Who's not afraid to attack you.
My favorite.
I gotta sleep with one eye open.
My favorite one I saw was just like the joke where you imagine it's gonna be that line, and it's like asking Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just like, oh, what's your type? I love a woman that will just straight up kill me.
Straight up kill me. Just do it.
Just absolutely end my existence.
I'm looking for someone to take me out, either on a date or with a shotgun.
That's every insect. That's every insect ever. That's why insects are some of the most badass, like, living things. Is that
it's either fight, die, or fuck.
Yeah. And every time it always ends up dying.
It's fight or fuck. They always lead to death.
Such is life.
I like how because of the internet now I'm broken of I either want a short girlfriend so I can be the big boyfriend, or I want somebody to tower over me.
It's either instead of fight or flight,
It's
it's
either
fight
or.
or fuck.
Fight or fuck. That's your options, which is coming at you.
It's my favorite video. Just, are we fighting or are we fucking? Out of the way, I'm taking out my pants.
Out of the way, my pants are coming off.
I remember my friends telling me about like they had their parents would argue a lot, and like they would like hate each other, and then they would resolve their issues by hate fucking, and then it'd be over.
The kid remembers this.
Yeah. Well, like he was a high schooler by the time, but he would tell us about it. He's like, I remember my parents would be like arguing, like angry arguing, and then they would go in the room and then come back, and then like now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, they hate fucked and like got over it.
It's great.
That is how some people deal with things.
It's great, but not from the kid's perspective.
It's scarring to anybody. It's literally the most frightening thing that you could be a part of. But when you're in that mode, it's great.
I believe you because you're looking at me with conviction.
Holy shit.
It's also called a send-off.
Sorry. Sorry.
Called the
I've
send-off.
never seen such a face from Mayhem of just pure, unadulterated joy of like
Describing the emotions you feel during hate fucking.
it's you've truly made the pure face of euphoria of like describing how it feels. It's like there's an energy going off you right now, and it's scary.
I can imagine like the scenario. It's like the guy's just lying down. He's hearing her shit, and it's like, okay, and then just goes at it. It's like
Close.
This bitch is stupid.
Close, but no, it was actual arguing.
This bitch is stupid. I'm just gonna fuck her and shut her up.
No.
No.
It was worse.
Spike Spiegel joined mafia group, basically crime syndicate
With my
Alongside
good
Vicious.
friend that I trust, Vicious.
He was born in Mars.
He was born in Mars.
And
He's really tall for someone who was born on Mars.
Mars.
Because Mars is smaller than Earth.
Small, yeah.
He should not be tall. He should be a little manlet.
He should be Napoleon.
Yeah.
I'm actually average height for the time.
Guys, we know the reason he's tall.
Mars.
Anyway, so
Hyper speed space travel.
Make my dick go.
Fell in
Make
love
my
with a woman.
DNA go.
Fell in love with a woman named Julia, and while being in love with her, while being with her, basically got into this massive fight where he lost his eye, but his luck was with him that day, and
Spike is probably one of the luckiest characters in anime
What happened?
because he survived getting shot in the eye.
Oh, right.
Well, that's not just that. Literally, that's kind of like just the details of Spike as a character, that he is the character who has survived so many things.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to Spike as a character, he survives more things than anybody should.
He's a rogue that put all of his skill points into luck.
And so...
Whether good or bad.
Yeah. So Spike, after going through this whole incident, does not know whether or not Julia survived, goes off and meets up with the crew, has his whole adventure with them.
Has the entire story of Cowboy Bebop.
Keeps encountering Vicious throughout this story, and over time is basically trying to live his life in some semblance of denial and anger over depression over everything that happened in the past. And by the end of it, he gets to find out Julia is alive. He finds out she's alive.
And after when Valentine left, she just so happened upon her, and she has no idea who she is to Spike, and so they have no idea that they both know Spike, and they have like this very like playful back and forth, and you're just like, I wouldn't deny this.
That was funny, yeah. But he gets to meet up with her and basically tries to protect her from the Syndicate, which Vicious has taken over. That's one of the details towards the end. Vicious takes over the crime syndicate and makes it his own. And so...
I'm gonna make it the vicious.
He basically goes off on this quest to try to kill Julia and Spike. And during this quest to kill Julia and Spike, while Spike is protecting her, she ends up getting shot and killed.
She
dies, and he holds her in his arms as she passes. So she's gone, and he moves on to basically his final battle. Goes alongside... There was a few members of the Syndicate who looked up to Spike, and so they sided with him in essentially his war against the Syndicate, because Spike goes in and just guns blazing.
Guns full blazing.
It's essentially the final moments of the series of finishing off all these different members of the Syndicate as he's making his way to the big boss that is Vicious. Makes his way to Vicious.
Who has a katana for some reason.
Has a katana. Well, he always has a katana. Like, the bad guy or the good guy, either or has to have a katana. Somebody has to have a katana.
They're just so cool. They're so fucking cool.
But they're so stupid!
I know. They're so bad.
A cool, long, curved blade is awesome.
They're nothing like the European or the Middle Eastern swords.
Which are
I was going to say, I'd fucking kill for a scimitar and being more...
I'll kill you. I'll kill you with this.
The Master Sword.
The Master Sword.
The foam Master
long
Sword.
sword?
He put the Master Sword in the long sword. Yes, long sword.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
It is a long sword.
Yeah, but I was going to say, like, when it comes to, this, like, katana, obviously, that's just, like, it's... When it comes to anime, they really like their katanas, and so it makes sense that somebody has to have one.
Yeah.
Especially because in Vicious' case, for him, it literally makes him seem more vicious. In a world full of advanced technology, he's the only one who keeps a melee, like,
He likes to get up close
weapon.
and personal and is willing to spill the blood himself.
You know why I have knives? Because guns, they're too efficient.
Dio. Kono Dio da.
Could you imagine if Dio found a fucking gun? What Dio would do?
Hey!
No, he did find a gun. He got shot at with a fucking shotgun by Enya, and like, or not Enya, by the one dude who got his jaw fucking cleaved off.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
That dude shot a fucking slug at him. Was it a slug?
Yeah.
If it's one thing, then yeah, it's a slug.
I was gonna say, in other words, for Dio,
it was a fuck ton of pellets, and he just like, wow.
Yeah, Dio kind of has a history with guns of like, it's very famous part of the opening of him putting on the mask and then just getting lit up by cops.
Yeah, when he puts on the mask.
And they're like, well, he's dead.
Oh shit!
But yeah, so
Yeah, I would
He has-
imagine. I think it makes sense for Dio not to use guns actually, because fucking just.
He's
I
the
don't
kind
need
of person
guns.
that just shows up and puts his
I've
finger
had-
through your
I was
through
gonna
your
say,
eye.
Yeah,
I've
why would I
had
need a
this.
gun?
I've had this talk before of it is too funny when an overpowered character
Oh yeah,
with a godly power has a gun.
just has a gun.
Because it is literally, in all fairness, when it comes to that, it is literally them saying, "You are so beneath me, I don't even want to use my godly power to kill you. I want to use something that your people made."
I'm going to use this tool.
This gun I found. Well, yeah, so
In all
Spike goes
fairness,
guns blazing.
are you more scared of Thanos or Thanos with a gun?
I'm more scared of Thanos putting the Infinity Fist up my ass
And then
With a
calling-
gun.
with a gun.
and then
No, I become
and
the
then pulling
silencer.
a moon, and then pulling a fucking moon at you,
Yeah.
throwing a goddamn moon.
Yeah, I think that's more terrifying.
Okay, I was gonna say for a second, can you just imagine he starts pulling the moon, and then you watch as like all of it's starting to fall apart, and it's like, wait, he hasn't pulled it all the way down yet, and then you see a gun. He
It
turns
come out of the
moon
moon.
into a
It's
gun.
a giant. It's a
A
gun.
giant gun.
You see it cock, and then boom, and it starts fucking shooting.
Rooster.
The Infinity Glock.
The Infinity Glock. Instead of the snap, it's the
Holy shit!
No!
Real quick, the Infinity Glock and the way he puts in the Infinity Stones, pops it out, and there's
Just loads him in.
He's loading the stones like bullets in a magazine. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome.
I now know what I'm gonna do.
We need that story.
Does it have to be in a mag? Okay,
Wait!
what gun would you want? it to be?
It would,
Old
it would have to
West!
be a Magnum.
Old
The
West.
way the revolver. The Infinity Revolver.
Oh, that's kind of badass. And then it's like he
Oh,
like
I
Russian
wanna see
roulette. So
that.
it's
Yeah.
like which one you going to get shot by?
Yeah! Holy shit! That's a good idea.
This sector ain't big enough for the two of us.
This universe ain't big enough for the both of us.
Will you get frozen in time, sent to another realm, turned into putty?
Turn into literal soda.
Or your
Am I
soul
gonna-
ripped from your very body. Let's find out.
Shoot the reality stone. Oh god, it turned you into a god. Shit.
The reason why I love multiverse
Western
and Marvel movies-
Thanos.
I was gonna say
that Cowboy Thanos.
Cowboy
this
Thanos.
is the reason I love multiverse and Marvel.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
So
So
Spike-
anyway, final fight between Spike and Vicious, and he manages to kill Vicious.
Don't they swap weapons at one point?
They swap weapons at one point and then kill each other. Go to kill each other. He kills Vicious. He begins to descend down the stairs as all the other members of the syndicate pop in, see that Vicious is dead, and the last moment is just
All of
Spike
them.
pointing his gun at, pointing his hand in the shape of a gun at the men, and just says "bang," and he falls down. And zoom out, and the very last frame is just the usual. See you in Space Cowboy.
Yep.
See you, Space Cowboy.
Except this time it just says that feeling is gonna stick with you.
Oh.
And it hurts. And you go, that's it?
That's where it ends.
That's Cowboy Bebop.
And that's how it sticks with you.
Oh my god, that Cowboy Bebop it's a slow burn that if you are accustomed to more high-paced media, it's going to bore you.
It's gonna be a little harder to watch.
Yeah.
But I think if you can tough it out, unlike me, and or if you can't forget about it, unlike me, then
Then it's going to be one for the ages.
yeah.
I put this one in a high category, like a high.
This
high tier.
anime was very influential to
Oh.
media.
I will apologize. The line I got wrong. It was you're gonna carry that weight.
You're going to carry that weight. That's what it says. With just him being dead, potentially.
Well, that's the thing. Apparently, the creator even came out and said, "I left it vague. I purposefully left this moment vague because I wanted it to be that anybody could interpret it how they wanted to.
Open ended.
Like if
So
if
about-
you felt better with the idea that he lived and he went on to be happy alongside essentially what would be his family,
Yeah.
it's cool.
So in about 10 years, when we've forgotten about the Netflix remake, they'll try again.
Yep.
Yeah,
So yeah,
this is
we
Cowboy Bebop.
definitely talked about all the characters and all that kind of stuff already. So this is kind
I
of
was
just
gonna say
the final thoughts.
this is basically the time when I get to ask who your favorite characters are, because that's usually the point when I talk about characters.
I think it's a close race between Spike and Valentine.
I really like Jet. Like it's simple, it's
He's
clean,
stable.
but I like Jed.
He's a stable character.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that stood out to you, Jinsu?
I really liked everyone's relationship with one another.
Yeah.
For as far as I got, I think their relationships with each other were still very interesting, and I felt compelled to, I thought about them a lot with like how they interact with each other and how they.
It's very
feel about
inspiring. Like when you write characters, the show very much helps you understand how these like certain archetypes of characters would interact with each other.
Right.
It's definitely a good example, like a good base to start your own story with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So best character design, yeah.
Valentine.
So like,
No, the dog.
Oh, the dog. God damn it.
The best character, good.
But yeah, so
Yeah, what's your final thoughts of like? That's basically the time to talk about final thoughts of this show. I would say honestly, it's a worthwhile watch. Like if I would say, check some episodes. Like there are some episodes you can skip.
there's some filler episodes that's like you watch afterwards and like you come back to it, and so you can kind of just have them all together again.
That's kind of the way I feel about like shows like One Piece and Bleach, where it's like get through the show and then if you want, you can like watch some of the filler stuff.
this might not be appropriate for the podcast, but I feel like I could only really sit down and actually watch all of Cowboy Bebop if I was on version.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
I'm probably
Influence.
I'm probably gonna censor what you said right there, and still keep it in.
Okay.
So then people can be like
Well,
wondering what
basically,
it
it's
was.
under the influence. Yeah.
under well, specifically that drug because of what it does to your brain.
Yeah.
It connects more neural links and whatnot, and that's gonna give away what drug I'm talking about, mayhem. So,
but not to everybody. So I'll still keep it in.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's stupid to feel like I need to rely on a drug to enjoy something.
But
because
but if it does enhance your enjoyment, then I'm not opposed
I'll
to
be
it.
fully,
It'll-
I'll be
it'll-
fully transparent. I remember being told in like freshman year of high school, like, dude, you got to get high and watch regular show. It can become so
What
much
the
better."
fuck?
I was told that back in high school, and like mayhem. It was one of the kids on the bus.
God damn it!
And
That fucking bus really had some of the weirdest people on there, self included.
It was, dude. The one of the best part. It was the same dude that I had the whole thing where like his life became a romantic comedy, and I was just one of the extras.
You just got to witness it.
I was literally the extra who understood he was in a romantic comedy and was breaking the fourth wall of where the fuck is this camera?
I got a question.
Yeah,
what's next?
No, what would you?
a mayhemism.
How would you prefer a Kai version of Cowboy Bebop or a continuation of Cowboy Bebop?
What?
A
Oh.
Kai.
A Kai.
You would prefer a Kai?
I'd prefer a Kai.
Like a
I'd-
remake that speeds things up.
No, Jinsu just goes, I prefer a Kai.
I feel
Nuke the show.
I feel like I can't really give a proper input on that just
Until
because
you haven't finished
until I
it yet.
finish it for myself and really absorb the content.
I feel like when you do if you wherever you are with however like stuff is ready in the story, if you have like the episodes literally just in front of you and it's like when you finish this you're done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would be like the best case scenario for you, and then you're just able to just be done and be able to think about it.
Yeah, my cousin
So I want
watched.
Cowboy Bebop abridged.
We should do that.
We should do that.
But my cousin watches a fuck ton of anime, and he's a very how do I explain this?
Connoisseur.
I wouldn't say connoisseur, but you know he's intelligent. You know he's intelligent, and he likes
Does he
to
go
put
for the story or the fan service?
he goes for the story. He likes story.
Okay.
so he doesn't go for the fan service. He's not a connoisseur.
he likes to put things simply. He doesn't waste time with like descriptive words or nothing. He just like he'll
No.
he'll keep it simple. You know, he told me that Cowboy Bebop is really good, but it's also, for as good as it is, it's also really boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
an understandable statement. It's understandable.
Yeah, it's just slow. I think it's just a little bit slower than what most people would want, or at least what I was expecting.
It definitely fits the
It's got
time of
Too slow a
1994
pace for certain people. Yeah.
Yeah, but
for
I do
what it
think
could be.
It's like a I would sit down and have like a cigarette and a drink with this show, and then like
You know,
like if that makes sense, right? Like,
Yeah,
just to chillax. So, like I would go to the bar and like have a beer with this, like you know,
and
like,
it's on the TV behind the
shit.
bar.
yeah, and it's like we're all being emo and noir and like all fucking like I was once a cowboy, you know, like some shit like that.
I used to know a girl, then she blew up into several
saw-
pieces.
God, I saw somebody
I
was
have a
actually
tragic
having.
anime backstory. You know.
Guts from Berserk. He's me, like, for real, for real.
He like me. I'm literally a plane. No, you're not. Blocked!
No one will ever be as traumatized as Guts.
No, yeah.
But I was going to say, somebody recently I was watching actually just had this discussion of, like, when it comes to recent anime, there's been a lot of anime recently where they're very fast-paced with how they're handling their stories.
Yeah.
Compared to
The past.
past shows and like select shows where it's very slowly paced.
Yeah.
There's a show,
I feel like Cowboy Bebop could have actually been condensed
Funny
down
enough-
to 15 episodes.
I was gonna say, funny enough, apparently Vinland Saga season 2, I got to hear it's slow paced.
Slow.
My
yeah.
cousin introduced me to Vinland Saga.
We're starting to watch that.
We're
He
starting to watch
loves Vinland Saga. Fucking, and he showed it to me, and I was watching it, but I couldn't absorb any of it because he got me blasted off my fucking mind. And it was like in the middle of the night, so I was on like a particle. I was on a fucking morsel of consciousness.
You're a 0.01%.
Yeah, like 0.001%. Like barely awake, barely like, holy fuck, this is so deep.
But yeah, so that Vinland Saga is, I think, a better modern version of the kind of slow burn that Cowboy Bebop has so far from what I've seen. But yeah. Anyway, what's next, Duke?
What's next? Well, technically, according to schedule, the next thing is a ghost story.
Hell yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Hell yeah.
Which, remember, we recorded a part 1 of.
We definitely recorded part 1 of them.
Oh, baby.
All right. If you liked what you watched, subscribe for more, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye. If you want to see more of our content, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter on our linktree at linktree/greenvillains. That's linktr.ee/greenvillains.